Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for joining us tonight. I'm truly excited to introduce David Harris and his team of guides. Just so everybody is familiar with David, David is a channeler, spiritual guide, and teacher who brings through channeled messages, energetic insight, healing light language, Akashic record wisdom, and higher perspective guidance. His work is centered around helping people align more fully with their true nature as spiritual beings. Healing at the root level, embody the infinite creative power already within them and experience an abundant life they are meant to live. Through his sessions and teachings, David helps individuals embody their infinite nature and align with their highest self, release emotional trauma held within the body, mind, and nervous system, clear ancestral energies and personal patterns that may be limiting growth. To find their true voice, trust their inner knowing, and reclaim a deeper sense of peace. At the heart of David's work is the understanding that each person already carries their innate higher spiritual intelligence within them. His mission is to help others reconnect with the wisdom and live from their heart center, the bridge between the spiritual and the physical world. He teaches that we are far more than what we often believe ourselves to be. We are conscious creators with the ability to align with our highest truths and live from the greater freedom, purpose, and abundance. David also has just recently released an online offering called Embody Your Soul's Purpose, a 21-day channeled experience designed to help participants reconnect with their divine blueprint and remember their wholeness on a cellular level. Through 5 channeled activation experienced over 21 days, the program supports awakening inner power, creating a nervous system less governed by fear, accessing dormant gifts in higher dimensional information, and deepening the integration between soul and body. In addition, David is the host of the Eternal You podcast, where he explores spirituality, consciousness, healing, and the journey of awakening. To learn more about David, explore his offerings, listen to his podcast, or schedule a one-on-one channeling session, you can visit David Harris Spirituality, which is, I already pinned it at the top of the chat box, along with my email as well, or website as well. So thank you, David, for being here. I'm so excited for tonight's message.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I'm really looking forward to finding out what they have to say because I don't know myself until I get in the channel. Looks like we have somebody else in the waiting room.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to tune in here and get right into it. Iya kashia baka tika kakashia gadiya baka kamkanchia baka tika akashia baka chia baka tika kakashia baka chia baka tika kakashia baka tika baka tika kakashia baka tika kakashia baka tika kakashia baka tika kakashia baka tika kaka ya baka tika boya kachika tika kakaya kashia ya baka tika boya kashia baka tika baka shia baka ya baka tika kaka Mia kashia pishi baka tia kachika tika kaka ya kashia ya baka tika kakashia baka ya baka tika boya baka shia baka tika tika kaka angashia baka tika kakashia baka shia baka tika kakashia baka tika kakashia baka tika kakashia baka tika kakaya yeah, shia baka tika boya kashia baka tika kaka kashia baka tika baka tika kaka kashia baka tika papa shia baka tika kakashia baka tika kakashia baka tika kakashia baka tika kakashia baka tika kakaya Oya, yeah, because you baka kaka shibaka sha. You baka shibaka shibaka Wayaka shia, baka shibaka 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 Yaka shimaka shibaka 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 Wayaka shibaka yakatika ayaka shibaka Hoya, yabakatakaka aka, shibakatika papakatika, yabakatakaka, 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 shibakatakaka, shibakatakaka, yabakatakaka, shibakatakaka. Good evening, everyone. We have 3 layers of clearing going on before we get into our main message. Yakatakaka, shibakatakaka, 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 shibakatakaka. Yeah, the first layer of the clearing involves helping to move along the clearing of some deeply held ancestral issues for many of you here. Some old ancestral trauma that you've been in the process of releasing, that you've been moving through your system, and this gives it the final push to move along. To resolve. Yeah, oh yeah, the second layer is to help prepare you to finally release that big weight. That big weight that you're carrying on your shoulders. That thing weighing on your chest in a way that for some of you might be very overt, very, very obvious. In other ways, it's been there for such a long time that you feel it as something that's subtle, but when it's gone, you realize how big of a weight you've been carrying. And for at least 5 of you here that are participating right now, that when this is lifted, you will actually stand taller. You will physically stand taller. And what it is that's weighing you down, each of you individually, is completely different. It's very specific to you. And the third layer, involves a collective energy field that the planet has been releasing and you have been helping to release collectively, which is the energy of abuse, particularly the energy of abuse of resources. Abuse of resources, whether that means the misallocation of resources, where they're distributed very, very unevenly, where some get a lot and some get very little or none. And also the energy of the squandering of resources. And this is part of a collective planetary clearing that comes from the spirit of the planet herself. And this is about the past. This isn't about the present or the future. It's not about the misallocation of resources now. This is about the past. And clearing this old energy that goes back to Atlantis will free up so much energy to come your way. To come your way in ways that are tangible and felt and realized in your experience. That may be experienced for you as new offers coming your way for opportunities that you've wanted. In some cases, new income streams that bring more money into your life. And in many cases, gifts. Gifts that come into your life. Not superfluous or random gifts, but gifts that are practically useful, that serve a real need for you. Something coming your way that helps you solve an issue or fill a need that you don't have to go work for or find. Yeah. Now we have a message that we'd like to get into with you to help explain some things energetically that have been happening in your experience and in your world. And also, we're going to get into a teaching. A teaching that will help you move forward more simply in a way that feels very empowered. We'd like to encourage you to not get wrapped up in the turmoil happening globally, the things that you may see reported in the news. And we're talking about things that are outside of your local environment. Internationally, abroad, and in other parts of the country you live in. To not get caught up in the narrative. For many different reasons. What's portrayed in the public narratives is and it's never the actual truth. It's versions of the story that are quite filtered. And often the true reasons for the nature of certain conflicts that are happening is hidden from view. In any case, don't feed it your energy. Because what you're doing in your own lives individually, whatever that may be, is so much more important in some ways. And that is not to discount the suffering of those involved. In many things happening around the world. But the way to help them and to help the planet is to focus on your core. So this message is about getting back to your roots. This is about getting back to your roots in a handful of key ways. We are working with your energy system as we're doing this to balance your lower chakras. Yeah. The spirit of the planet has been going through a major set of releases of opening up and healing her own deepest core wounds. Yeah, that happened from a long ago time before recorded history on this planet. Yeah, what you might think of as an ancient story. And without going too deep into it, it involved an ancient cataclysm that was much bigger than Atlantis or Lemuria, in which this planet was completely repositioned within your solar system. And for a while, there was a true danger that the planet itself would fall apart. But through a sequence of events that you might think of as being like miracles, the planet was saved from total destruction, but it was deeply wounded, and it was a total planetary reset. Some life on the planet did survive. But any semblance of what you would think of as society that had existed previously had to completely restart. The whole ecosystem of the planet changed. The biological life on the planet shifted, and many new species came in and were brought in from other parts of the cosmos to all mix together in this world that you live in, which is truly a galactic melting pot. And for so many of you, especially any one of you that are watching this broadcast now, and anyone that might tune into it in the future, were incarnated on the planet at that time, and you experienced this. And right now is about healing from that old wound. There is no karmic debt to be repaid. We're speaking to your subconscious mind when we say that. There is no karmic debt to be repaid. There is nothing you have to do to fix the past. There is no trade-off to make in order to fully heal and release the wounds of the past, to release that ancient pain from the nervous system and from the spine and from your root. Many of you here have been picking up a lot of signals from the planet's core, signals that are signs of the planet's healing her own deep emotional wound, because she's chosen this time to do so. And you are all part of that because you chose to be here incarnated in these bodies at this time now in order to heal yourselves from your experiences of the distant past. But your nervous system is not currently built to completely interpret all the signals and all the information that you're receiving from the planet's core. And so it can trigger old anxieties. It can trigger old ancient anger that you may not be able to explain. It can trigger bouts of sadness that seem to come out of nowhere and seem unrelated or out of proportion to what is happening in your human life today. So we're here to bring forth a message from the planet who is part of this channeling, who is one aspect of this very large collective coming through now, and to allow her to speak for herself, to speak to those of you who are willing to come back to this planet one more time. And here is that message. From the planet. All of you are my children. I recognize that so many of you are ancient, very advanced souls. Spiritual adults, very mature, advanced beings. But while you're here, I have adopted you as my own. When you decided to come here this time around, you were under no obligation to do so. You did so for your own various reasons, but one common denominator for all of you is that you came here to help me ascend. You came here to help the planet get on the right track. And you have done so, and you continue to do so. But it is not your job or responsibility to help me heal. I have my own help to help me heal in the various ways that I need to heal. And I have been going through a series of major activations and energetic shifts. And though it may look to you like many of the things happening on the surface of the planet are out of control, that is all part of the species of this planet, humans and others, working out some old programming. I see what's happening with open eyes. And you may wonder why I allow so much chaos to happen all at once. But that's part of the growing process. Speaking collectively as a broad statement, humanity as a species right now are going through their teenage years. And the teenage years can be full of upheavals. Periods of imbalance and chaos, but that's all part of the growth process. And everything is being sorted out right on time. There is more than one timeline in play here. There are 3 primary timelines. And for those of you in this call, you're in the fastest ascension timeline. And in that timeline, there appears to be a lot of chaos and disorder just before a series of major planetary breakthroughs, planet-wide breakthroughs from a bigger picture perspective. And that is what's going on now. There are many things that have been seeded into the planet, many new technologies that will come to light that will help advance humanity, healing technologies, and technologies that allow for greater abundance and the more balanced allocation of resources. And this is all part of my plan. So don't be afraid of what you see. There is no cataclysm coming. That will not ever happen again. In so many ways, I am quite thrilled and very happy to see many positive changes happening because I don't look at things in the same way that you might. I see so many things that are hidden from view that are not put into the public limelight. Because so many things that are amplified and put into the public limelight are done so in an attempt to control you. So I'm asking you to allow me to help you more. You don't even have to trust me in order to do this. I am no longer broken or battered or bruised. I have been healing from the inside out. And there's so much more going on below the surface of your planet than you could even imagine. For everyone here watching this and who will watch this in the future, this is a breakthrough incarnation for you. This is an incarnation that you've been building towards for many, many lifetimes. In which all of you in your own way are going through some very dramatic transformations. And when you're able to look at your life from a bigger picture perspective and see it all the way from beginning to end, you will see how true this is. But you need help now. Because I see where you're going and I know where you've been. And I recognize that my own healing process and the opening up of some of my deepest wounds here in recent months has triggered a lot of you. But this is all done in kindness in order to help you heal more quickly. So now allow me to take some burdens off of your shoulders. Don't worry about some of the things that you see happening, like pollution in the atmosphere, and destructive things that people do to the environment on this planet, because future generations are going to find out just how quickly I can heal. You have a lot more friends and friendly visitors on this planet than you can realize right now. Friends from other dimensions, friends from other parts of the cosmos. Friends from the angelic realms. It is not random when you see things in the sky that you may think might be ships or ships in disguise. They are always there to get your attention specifically. They are there to say hello, and they're there to help you because they know you by name. And I have invited all the friends of humanity to come to the table at this time. I am rolling out the red carpet for them. And I have asked them to come in to help you. For they are, in a sense, versions of you. Versions of you from other lifetimes, versions of you from other dimensions. Just like you are part of a larger family, I am also part of a larger family of planets and planetary bodies within the cosmos, and that extends far beyond this solar system. In a sense, I have many sisters and brothers, and cousins, uncles, and aunts. So if you would allow me, I would like to work with all of you individually and help you release this burden. This is the burden of the past. This big burden that you're carrying, though it may be connected to some real practical things you're dealing with in your life in the here and now, there's another weight that's even bigger, and that's the weight of this past collapse, this past cataclysm, where the planet itself came within an eyelash of destruction. And my healing process and opening up that, opening up the vault on that to let it come to the surface and rise and heal, has helped to trigger this release in you. And I'd like to help it complete now. It is okay to be angry at me. It's okay to be angry at this planet. I never take that personally. And in many cases, you need to be given permission to feel that anger. Gaia is not here to hurt you. But you certainly have been hurt while you've been on this planet. So if you'll indulge me and allow me to work with your field, I'm going to be working first with your crown. You may feel tingling and sensations on the top of your head. You're all receiving a download from me right now. Now allow me to go into the story behind this burden. You don't need to go through the narrative in your mind if you don't want to. This won't open some big Pandora's box of overwhelming emotions. But what I want to do to help you heal is to go into your Akashic records, each of you individually, and see and experience what you've experienced on this planet before. Everything you've experienced while you've been on this planet in any lifetime. And allow me to take that on myself because I am designed to carry that. I am designed to transmute it. I know ways of releasing it that your human nervous system is not able to do. So let me go into your individual records and see your story here. Allow me to make a difference. And as I see and experience your entire experience that you've had on this planet, all of it, no matter how painful or triumphant, allow me to go into your sore spots so that I can help those wounds heal. Because I am here to take that weight off of your nervous system. I'm here to take that weight out of your energy field completely. And I can do so right now. Just keep breathing. Just steady, slow breaths. Just keep breathing. You are not being judged for anything you might have done at any point. There's nothing to forgive. And you don't have to wait on me to fully ascend. If you feel that I am moving too slow for you, don't wait. Leave me in the dust. It's my job to catch up to you. Just keep breathing and feel that you're breathing easier. Now I'm going to go into the very center of it. This may feel intense for a brief period of time, no longer than a minute or two. And then after that, you're going to feel a big release. Almost done. Yeah. Shibakata Shibakataka 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 Oya Kashipataka Shipataka 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 Yakataka Shipataka Shipataka. Just let me take it all away. I will never leave any of you behind. I'll carry you on my back if I have to. Haya Shibakadia Bakakaya. Yibakadia Katakaya. Yibakataka Shibakataka. Oyaka Shibakataka Shibakataka Shibakataka. Yibakataka Shibakataka. Oyaka Shibakataka. Oyaka Shibakataka. Gatakaya. Oyaka Shibakataka. Allow your body to move however it needs to move. If you feel the need to stand up and shake your feet, move around, or lie down, and close your eyes. If you feel the need to pound your fist, that's just energy releasing. Yakachaka, Shibakaya, Hoya, Yabakataka, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful to get to have you here at this time. So allow me to balance the scales, because it's very true that the universe is about balance. You see that play out on this planet, on my surface all the time. Nature always creates a balance. If there's ever an imbalance, something else happens in nature to create that balance. So allow me to balance the scales. You've been carrying so much weight up until now, and many of you have had very unpleasant experiences on this planet. Allow me to show you an easier way, and allow me to bless you. And to do something that I am a master at, and that is creating balance and correcting imbalances. It is not being needy to say that I want more help. You will never be denied. It's not being pushy to say, I need some reciprocity. I am not asking you to trust me. I'm just asking you to let me help. In your human experience, so many of you have not had the experience of unconditional love. It may have been fleeting or an exceptionally rare experience in your relationships here. That is not so with me. So allow me the opportunity to show you in new, interesting, and exciting ways. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Now, just going to give this a moment to settle, and there's going to be some light language. Then I have something that I would like to share with you, a simple teaching. Yeah. Yeah, moya, kaka, kaka, yeah, kaka, kaka, hoi ha, pakata, pakataka, pakataka, shapakataka, pakataka, ha. Notice how you feel differently. Notice how you feel lighter. You will continue to feel lighter and lighter over the coming next 2 or 3 hours. And if you go to sleep after this, you're going to wake up feeling quite different than you do even right now. More refreshed, much less burdened. And it is not selfish to say, I want more. I want more of this. It's okay to say to me, well, that was a nice start, but there's a lot more work to be done. That's fine. Just put it all on me. Bring it to me. I'm happy to help you. Now I'm going to get into a simple teaching, and this won't take very long. It's a little bit of a trick of the nervous system. This works with the autonomic nervous system. And the solar plexus. And this is all about empowerment. If you can, hold both of your hands palm up like this. And I'd like for you to touch your thumbs to your index fingers. This is activating certain parts of your nervous system, and it's working with some specific meridians. And bring to mind one area of your life where you want to feel a lot more empowered and to feel safe being empowered. It doesn't matter what area of your life. This is about connecting to that frequency, connecting to that bandwidth, and then tying it into you. And something that's connected to your own experience is definitely connected to your nervous system. And while you have your fingertips, your thumb and your index finger touching, move your fingers to the sides of your neck. This may seem silly, that there's several nerve centers that are being activated right now. Now think about what you want to see change for the better in your life in this area where you want more empowerment. This isn't about wishing for it. This is about shifting your nervous system into a space where you can receive it. And now you can just let your hands drop and be at your sides. And then the last step is to just put your hand on the center of your chest and just rub back and forth. This actually helps release something from your solar plexus. This helps a bundle of nerves relax. And while you're doing this, simply think about what you want in your life. What would make you happy? It doesn't matter what it is. And then lastly, take both hands and just place them on the side of your face. This works with several governing meridians. And I'm working with your whole nervous system when you're doing this. And the last step is really simple. Just put your hands down, get in whatever position you want to be in, and just for a moment, even if it's only for 5 seconds, allow your body to completely relax. And notice how you feel. Now, this somewhat ridiculous exercise has just done 4 major things. It's done a rebalancing and a reset of your root chakra. It has called to the surface the imprint of fear, because fear is kind of the opposite of empowerment. It's called to the surface the imprint of fear to bring it straight to the surface of your nervous system. And that fear is then released from a deep nerve bundle that's behind your solar plexus. And then your thymus, which is in that high heart area, is fully engaged. And when your thymus is fully engaged, it rebalances your whole nervous system. And it rebalances your third chakra, your solar plexus chakra. And this releases the imprint of emotional pain from your nervous system. And then that last step where you put your hands on the sides of your face, Works with three of your governing 3 points in your governing meridian. To recalibrate your nervous system into a state of receptivity, to a receiving state. And there's a whole other set of processes that I am working through in your nervous system as this is happening. Don't feel like you need to remember this whole procedure. This video will be available for you later. But it's a simple trick, and if you work with it and memorize it, it will easily help shift you into a state of empowerment before you make any kind of decisions. Important decisions in your life. It can shift you into a state of empowerment when you feel fearful about something. Because this is helping you experience what supported power feels like. The human nervous system is built for imprinting. You can get emotional states and experiences deeply imprinted in your nervous system. And this helps you reset the imprint, rebalance, and in a sense, reclaim your core. And if you'd like to feel this process happening and you've forgotten the entire little procedure that I just explained, simply ask me, Gaia, the planet, to do it for you, and I will. And this can help restore a sense of confidence where your confidence may have been shaken, or where your confidence may have been lost for a little while. Thank you for indulging me in this whole practice. Now we're going to bring back in the whole collective here. And we're ready to move into questions.
All right. Thank you. So our first question we have tonight. Hi, I've been doing healing through shadow work and crystal grids in hopes to clear out past life and ancestral trauma. Is there more I need to know about this part of my journey?
Yes, you've been doing a lot of heavy lifting in this area. And you've done your part. You've done more than your part. In fact, your part is done in the sense that whatever you came into this life that you decided pre-incarnation to take on, to clear, you have honored all those soul contracts. Those soul contracts are fulfilled. And now you're going into doing the work of other parts of your ancestry, and you're certainly free to do so. You are definitely not stepping on anyone's toes. And we understand how badly you want to clear your whole ancestral line so that those that come after you don't have to deal with the stuff that you've dealt with. But we're here to tell you that you have 3 healed ancestors in the non physical that are not incarnated at all right now, that are not in bodies, that are asking you to give the rest of the work to them. Let them do their jobs in clearing what remains. So you can take a load off and also shift your energy into areas that are more enlivening, that are more fun, that aren't so heavy feeling. And while this is happening in real time, your 3 ancestors are working, and they're also working under the guidance of the Archangel Michael. They're working very quickly, and this is a very, very thorough process. And you can think of what they're doing as like working with a sponge or a bunch of sponges to soak up all the spillage. And then get on their hands and knees and do some scrubbing to really clean those floors. For the ancestral line on both sides is going to be left spotless here in a moment or two. It's not your job to fix the whole family. You don't have to do everything when those around you may be unwilling to do their inner work. Feel that healing fire now. Your ancestors have finished. Whatever remains has been cleared. And you are officially done. You have completely graduated from ancestral clearings in this or any other lifetime. So celebrate your graduation by doing something for you. Give yourself a breather from the heavy stuff that we know has been wearing you out. And after a little while, a week or two, you'll feel some of your energy return. As you come into balance, you will definitely see some shifts in behaviors of those related to you. And you'll be pleasantly surprised and even shocked by what one family member does next. Watch a source of long-held tension resolve itself almost by itself, almost on its own. Take a load off. Do something mindless, like read a frivolous novel. Watch a new streaming series. Get out in the water. Try something new just for the hell of it. And after you give yourself a little while to reset, you'll find a new sense of motivation that you didn't know where it came from, and even a sense of excitement and a lightness in your step. Because all that energy you've been putting into, in a sense, healing for others can be put to work for you. And you'll see very clearly the next right step in your life. You'll see very clearly how to attack that pursuit that you have been thinking of. And in a year, you won't recognize yourself. And that'll be a lot of fun for you. You don't need to wait to finish what you started. It's your turn now. It's your turn now. So let yourself be moved right to the front of the line. You don't have to wait to board the plane. You can board first and sit right in first class if you want to. And experience that journey you've always wanted to take. And relax. All the resources will be put into place for you. These three healed ancestors that we spoke of will make themselves known to you in your life in some specific ways, and they're here to stick around and to help you. They enjoy helping. They want to be put to work. And they will help move mountains for you. And look for a very practical, workable, and amazing solution to appear to a major area of concern in your life. You will not have to go looking for it. Thank you for the question. What's our next question?
I keep receiving messages to release what no longer aligns. My challenge is that I don't feel aligned with my current job, yet that's my only main source of income. What am I specifically being asked to release, and what is the next grounded action that will open the door without acting from fear?
We want to really thank you for asking this question, because this is a question so many have on this planet at this time. And behind that question is, how do you free yourself from a system that you don't even agree with? Because it can feel daunting, like you have to shift your whole reality, and even like you have to fight a whole system that a whole society is kind of agreed to, in a sense, just to have your freedom. You know full well, and we're really saying this more for the benefit of others than you, that releasing what no longer aligns is an inside job first, and you are certainly doing that. You have done the work. The next practical step is really a multi-stage thing. One is to give yourself some grace and allow yourself not to know how to fix this yet. That does not mean ignoring it, and that doesn't mean agreeing to stay in a situation that is not aligned for you. Allowing yourself to not know is a way to stop beating yourself up for not presently being able to see a clear solution. That's what that means. Allowing yourself not to know is not about being kept in the dark. It's not about being treated like a child who's, quote, not allowed to know the answers the adults know. It's not about that at all. It's not about having information that's important for your journey being withheld from you. Allowing yourself to not know is about letting yourself off the hook for being in a situation that was part of your life plan anyway. You are going to get out of your corporate job relatively quickly. Your three main guides are working out a money solution that will involve you being able to transition out without any income drop. One of the hurdles, one of the subconscious hurdles for you and so many others is, how do you allow yourself to feel safe when making the leap? And you are not going to be asked to make a blind leap. You're going to be presented with a very practical solution that will make sense to your human mind, that will feel safe to your body. We encourage you to shift your routine a little bit. And this is about to get really specific. Go to your favorite bookstore, whether it's in person or online, and look in the spiritual book section. And one specific publication is going to really stand out to you. You'll be pointed right to it. It's going to really pop for you. Like your body's almost going to gravitate towards this book. And go ahead and buy it, and don't feel obligated to read the whole thing, because it's going to be a thick book. You're not going to be asked to read this whole book. There's something specific somewhere in the middle of the book that will create an aha moment, a big epiphany that will help you see how you can tie together so many things that you spent your entire life working with. For in so many ways, you are a master craftsman, but you don't view yourself that way. You work with the architecture of things first for a long time. You work with the architecture of systems and processes. And then when you're ready, when you've really mastered your understanding of that architecture in that process, then you take the first step. But when you take that first step, you do so in such a way that makes all the dominoes fall, because you have found that key button to push, a key piece of the puzzle. Once you find that book in this section in the book that's going to help you tie some things together, then you're going to get a lot of specific guidance from someone you already know. Your epiphany will help this person understand how they can help you in a practical way. And you're going to see a business idea that is kind of almost a spin-off of something you've thought of before. But you're going to see like the whole picture. You're going to see it from like top to bottom, left to right, front to back. You're going to see this whole picture. And then the practical steps will be simple for you. Yes, they will involve a good bit of work, but they'll be simple and straightforward. And you'll do so with joy, because it will feel true. It will feel like, oh, this is going to actually work. And then the right people are going to come running in your direction to partake in what you have to offer. And you are ultimately going to help a lot of other people make their corporate exit, to exit the corporate system. And this is part of a planet-wide movement that Gaia herself is helping to amplify. This is a free will choice from the higher self of humanity to eventually dissolve the corporate model. That won't happen overnight, but at this stage, there's going to be many, many, many people leave the corporate model. There's a wave in this generation of a mass exodus. And you're going to help other people see the door, see the exit ramp, to leave what many may view as a slave model, to establish your own independence and your financial freedom on this planet, to exit the corporate ladder and to leave that old dreary building with the creaky fans and the weird smells in certain corners of the building. And the whiny, gossipy colleagues who complain about the same things again and again without listening to any of your practical suggestions. So don't let fear of change stop you. Yes, you so deeply want this change. You're so passionate about it. It almost feels desperate. But it does feel like you're leaving a box of safety. And it feels like such a big change in the mind's eye. That it almost feels a little bit crazy. But when you make the shift, which won't be in the very distant future, it will feel safe, structured, and balanced. And you'll have an idea for a routine that works well for you, that is not going to involve you working the kind of hours that you work in a corporate job. You will not spend as many hours working. You'll be able to have a much more balanced life. And we're saying this next part to you specifically and to everyone listening, everyone that might be in a corporate job that they long to escape from. The energy of that desire, that collective intention, is being amplified by the planet's core. And energetically, in ways that are invisible to the eye, a whole system is being put in place for you across the planet to help ease that transition. Because this planet would love nothing more than to see you be freed from parts of what are basically a false matrix, an illusion. The corporate illusion. And shift into a place where your individuality and your whole self is welcomed. And you can express your truth all the time, anytime, without any fear of consequences. Consequences in your career or your work life. And to you personally, you don't know this, but you're a real inspiration to many in your life, including your children, who don't often say so. You are a true leader in your own way. And the time for leading from behind is ending. And when you step out of that corporate door for the last time, you will never look back. Your next chapter will be very successful. Thank you for the question.
Okay, next question. I've been experiencing sudden, sharp, stabbing pains in my back that strike as quickly and unexpectedly as a lightning bolt. They're so startling and intense that they literally stop me in my tracks. At times, I've also had a strange sense that my mind and my back aren't quite communicating with each other. What do you perceive is happening when this occurs? Is there something I need to understand, address, or release? And most importantly, what can I do to calm, control, or stop it?
Okay, we have several suggestions. You're dealing with two things. One is ancestral, and it's been triggered by a loss. You don't need to know what's behind the ancestral stuff, like the story's kind of unimportant. It wouldn't be beneficial to get into, but it goes quite a long way back. We've been given permission from your higher self to clear that now, so we can work that out right this moment, and then we'll get into the next part of it. Just keep breathing deep inhales and deep exhales. You'll feel a lot better in the coming days. That ancestral issue is cleared now. Now, the other part of the issue, you are correct. You have discerned, you've been listening to the signals in your body that in some ways your mind and your back are not completely communicating clearly. I mean, they're fully connected. There's no issue in your nervous system, but it's like the signals aren't completely getting across all the time. You do have a vertebra a bit out of alignment. A visit to a good chiropractor would easily correct this. We can work with your nervous system to amplify the signals that are coming so that they get across more clearly. Rest assured, you don't have any kind of major injury. This is easily correctable. You've had a bit of a misalignment going on for several weeks, and it's been exacerbated by the ancestral stuff that's now cleared, and also as a way of compensating, your posture's been thrown off, which is kind of making the issue worse and worse. In the short term, lying down on your stomach on like a flat surface like the floor, like a carpeted floor, for 30 minutes a day will definitely help release something. And allow you to get through the day a whole lot more easily until you can get it adjusted. But in the meantime, right now, the Archangel Uriel can go into your back and shift your vertebra a bit. But we do strongly encourage you to go to a good chiropractor because it will lead to a breakthrough in your understanding of how your own body works to help you see several different issues you've dealt with intermittently throughout your life and how you can make them stop for good. We're suggesting the chiropractor as a means of empowering you. And one little bit of good news that might excite you a little bit, correcting this issue, and it's at this point it's about 90% corrected, will actually speed up your metabolism a bit. Because naturally your metabolism is designed to operate faster than it's been able to while this has been happening, because it has affected your nervous system, particularly your digestive tract. Thank you for that question.
All right, next question. I might not be able to pronounce this correctly, but I'm going to give it a shot. Is Siragunsville, Tennessee, a good place for me to settle in a few years? Sasha Stone has bought 65 acres there for a community and healing retreat and different healing modalities. I heard about it and I thought it and the thought hit me hard that it could be a good place for me. They have blessed and healed the land over the last year. Would that move be a good fit for me and possibly where I need to be, or just stay here on my sacred land?
Well, it's certainly not our place to tell you what to do, but we will tell you what we see. This is a situation to really use discernment, to trust your gut and to trust your heart. Because you are being misled. A key piece of information is being withheld from you. You will find out what it is without any confrontation. Because this is something that will come out into the open before very long. But there is a manipulation going on. And many that are involved, that are even in charge, don't know. So those that are talking to you really are operating from a place of goodwill and in good faith and are being honest. But they themselves are being misled. This is all a big blessing in disguise. It's going to bring something out into the open. It's going to shift a dynamic. And you're not going to lose any friends over it. There is something that you are meant to see. Your higher self is guiding you through this process to show you a game that's being played. And after you go through this and have this experience and see what's going on the back end, it's going to lead to a huge breakthrough in your life. The future is not set in stone. But one thing to know about that piece of land is there's a lot of ancestral healing going on about things that happened on that land a long time ago that are being cleared. When you learn the true history of that space, you'll understand why you gravitated towards it in the first place, because it's going to help you understand something about your own ancestry. And you'll also be very clear on your decision about what you want to do. But it's not abandoning anyone to say no to something you feel uneasy about. So listen to that feeling of uneasiness that you have and listen to what's going on in the background within you. Yeah. You are meant to run a retreat center. Yeah. And the perfect space will be made available to you. Yeah. And rest assured, when all the dust settles, you'll see clearly that there is nothing you could have done. You didn't miss a step. You didn't overlook anything obvious. And you'll say to yourself, well, nice trick and nice try. Ultimately, it's for the better of everyone that what's going on comes up to the surface and comes into the light. It's gonna lead to a lot of healing for everyone involved. The perfect space for you exists and has been bookmarked and set aside for you by your higher self and your team of guides and angels. And don't worry about the money. All the resources you need will come in, and a lot more. We encourage you to explore the energy of your own ancestry. Because that leads to the truth. And that's the true reason why this is happening. This is part of a soul contract of you having an experience so that something can come out to the open to create healing in you and in your ancestry. Your inclination to want to please others in this situation is an ancestral pattern. So listen to the one that speaks to you. Listen to the ancestor, the spirit, the ancestor that speaks to you. You are ready to hear something clearly. And don't worry, this won't be a big traumatic experience. It will help set you free from an old pattern. There are a lot of balls in the air right now, and a bunch of them are about to land. And that's very positive. Let the land speak to you, because she will tell you her stories. Let the land speak to you. Your experience right now will benefit you and a lot of other people. And don't worry, things aren't going to get ugly. In many ways, this is a misunderstanding. We just put a lot into the light language that's very personal for you. That you will get some interpretations on later for your mind to know. Thank you for the question.
Okay, looks like we have one more question. It's good timing. What was the contract between my ex-husband and I for this lifetime? What, if any, needs to be cleared from my body karmically and past life related for the purpose of completing that contract?
Okay, so related, the contracts with your ex-husband are definitely complete. You did have a soul contract to get married and to later split apart, and in the meantime go through some experiences which would be the catalyst to a lot of growth for both of you. For you, that growth is occurring all in this life. For him, that growth is going to occur over the next few lifetimes, but this is the catalyst for it. One thing that we'd like to help you release is that you are not obligated to fully explain to him why you left. Because though he really means well, in some ways, he's not emotionally mature enough to be able to handle it and understand. And you don't owe him any more of an explanation. You're generous to a fault. And it's okay to say no to revisiting the past with him. In a sense, we'll give an image of your journey with him through that marriage and through that soul contract. It was like you entered into a complex cave system underground, and you navigated it together. You maybe made some wrong turns in the caves that led to some dead ends, but then you found the right path back. You found a treasure somewhere in the middle, really deep down, which came at a cost. He wanted to stay stuck in the cave, and you navigated the labyrinth to find your way back out to the surface and into the sunlight. He's at a stage where he can see the light coming into the cave, but he doesn't know how to get out of it. And it's not your job to fix it for him. We know you know that. We're saying that for your layers of your subconscious. Consider yourself completely freed of any duty towards him. That doesn't mean that you don't want to be friends or speak to him again. But releasing the need to explain your motivations for leaving and releasing the energy of duty towards him are the last ties you have to that old relationship, to that old marriage. The last cords to be cut to free you to see your own future more fully and more clearly. Because you have a great next chapter ahead for you. Because you have another soul contract, another true partner that you couldn't have been ready for without that experience. And there will come a point where you consider your experience with your ex-husband to have been well worth the journey, even if you don't feel that way today. You don't have to let bygones be bygones. It's not holding a grudge. It's not stoking resentment to feel the way you feel. So there's no need to apologize about that. We know how important your independence is to you. And you'll never be asked to sacrifice that again, and you certainly wouldn't be willing to. But you get to find out what true partnership actually feels like to live. And what interdependence while retaining your independence means. Watching your ex make his own mistakes is not and not offering any guidance. It's not letting him suffer in silence. It's part of the soul contract. Because you can teach a man to fish, but you can't make him go do it. We've been doing a clearing for you. And if you'd like, the Archangel Michael and Uriel and 3 of your own guides would like to help release this energy, this bondage from your nervous system, that energy around feeling that you are obligated to tell him all the reasons why you left, and that energy of duty towards him. That can be released right now. Oh yeah, Hakata, Ataka, Shipakata, Shipakataka, 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 Hu, Bata, Kataka, Katakataka, Shakataka, Magataka, Katakaka, Hukataka, Shipakataka, Katakaka, Shipakataka, Shipakataka, Okasha, Kantakaka, Kataka, Shipakataka, Shipakataka, Gatakaya, Gataka, Hukataka, Hukataka. You're going to feel really tired after this, but that's a good thing. That's a sign of this release. After a few days, you're going to have a lot more energy and feel that spring in your step return. So go forward and be free. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, I think that's it, David.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all for trusting us and for joining tonight. We are going to end with the blessing of the ancients, and this contains downloads for all of you. A healing for the body and an opening of the heart and throat chakras. Ai o ai ai o ai ai o ai o ai o ai o ai Yakatapakakasha, Shivakagaya, Yabakaka, Shivakagaka, Yabakaka, Yabakaka, Shivakagaka, Yabakaka, Oh, Bakata, oh, Bakataka, oh, Bakataka. We thank you, we love you, and with that, we are complete.
Beautiful. Thank you, David. That was wonderful.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Have a beautiful night.